So I remember growing up that one of the big disconnects that the American Jewish population had with the Israeli Jewish population was the following, was we couldn't believe how they came dressed for shul, right? So you recall, at least when I was growing up, people would come in shorts, they'd come in t-shirts. These days, thank God, somebody comes, it's a good thing. But it was really an issue as to what is the appropriate dress, right? What is the appropriate dress? And we have this idea that actually even in English, right, we have this concern, if you will, and you can ask anybody who works in the fashion industry, if in fact you are what you wear, or if the statement, the clothes make the man. Have you heard that statement, right? Clearly, most of you don't believe in it, but let's keep going. The idea being that it actually comes from, for those of you, just as a little point of trivia, it comes from Hamlet. Comes from Hamlet, where the quote is, "A peril oft proclaims the man." Okay. So in any event, today, what's ironic is I was talking to our musical guest, Josh Sauer, a little earlier. We were talking about the sort of the sequence of the various Parshiot at this time of year. And we're talking about the building of the Mishkan and how you should build the Mishkan. You should do it this way and this way. And it's one of the few times that you'll find the Jews at Home Depot. But additionally, what we have is we have a little cutout this week where we talk all about the clothing that we wear. And in fact, we have the description. I'm just going to share with you. I'll pass it around. But this is the description of what the Kohain Gadol wore, the Kohain Gadol, the high priest. And essentially, today's Parsha goes into great detail. As we pass this around, one of the things that you'll notice that we were talking about earlier, I was talking with Yosef, who's online. Shalom, Yosef. One of the things that we were talking about was that on the breastplate itself, there were 12 stones. And the 12 stones were supposed to represent the 12 tribes of Israel. In other words, even though we had this officiant who was dressed in grandeur and splendor, at the same time, that person needed to remember as a leader that they represented the entire community. It's a very beautiful, beautiful idea. We're told that the Kohain Gadol also had in his pocket, he had these special stones that were called Urim and Tumim. There were special lights, and if he couldn't figure something out, he would pull out these little magical cards, he'd look at them, and the Ribono Shel Olam himself, that God would make them flash in a certain way, and then the Kohain Gadol would know exactly what to do. It's a beautiful story. I love it. So you should know that this idea of how we dress is somewhat important. And we know also from our own personal experience, right, that over the last couple of years, right, that whole cultural idea of how we dress and what we wear, where we wear and when we wear certain clothes has sort of, we had to reevaluate all of it, right? I know plenty of dry cleaners who went out of business during COVID, right? So one other idea that I'd like to share with you is that this idea of wearing clothes to glorify, lechavod uletifaret, is the expression that you'll hear, the verse that you'll hear over and over in the description of the clothes. They're done lechavod uletifaret. So some people would criticize, what does it really matter what we wear? However, in the mystical tradition, there is an idea that one of God's manifestations in the mystical universe is tiferet, is glorification. And that when we dress lechavod uletifaret, that if we dress in a dignified or special way, that helps us channel God's special emanation of his divine qualities through us. So in that sense, it's a very, very nice idea. Last point is that I would like you to go through the Torah reading as we're going through the Torah reading, and please find me how many times the name of Moshe Rabbeinu is mentioned. Meryl, would you like to share? This is the only Torah reading from the first, from Shmos, from the beginning of Shmos until the end of Bamidbar, where we don't see Moshe's name mentioned. So I'll let you think about why that may or may not be, and we will continue with our Torah reading. Our Torah reading is Parsha Tetzaveh. If somebody can find the page number in the red book, that would be great. I don't have one up here.